Okay, there we go. All right, everybody, we are going to kick off tonight's call. I'm so excited to have you all here, and I'm really excited that Carrie Spratley is joining us tonight. And I loved the last training she did on the Express training, and we're in the peer coaching group together, and she volunteered to come in and share her wisdom with us and a little of her story. But before she kicks it off, just want to intro her a little bit more because you guys, it's really impressive. She's a board certified holistic health coach practitioner. She's an author. She's a podcast host, which I listened to last week, a couple episodes, and I'm going to listen to more because I love podcasts and it was really good. Loved it. I loved the 2 episodes. She's a wife of 28 years, which is awesome, and has successfully raised 3 grown men. And that to me is impressive because I have 1 boy. And so the thought of raising 3 of them successfully, like, whew, okay, I got this. And she's been with Plexus for 8 years this week, which I love so much. So I will hand it over to you and let you share with us. But thanks so much for being here.
It's my pleasure. Actually, any opportunity I have to steward the gift that this has been for me and to give back to the amazing blessing that it has been for my family. I really feel like it's an opportunity to operate out of gratitude for what God has done through our lives, through this amazing opportunity. I do believe that Plexus is a gift. I will tell you, from here to eternity has been one of my best life decisions. How many of you can say that Plexus is one of your best life decisions? Yeah. And that's why I take time away from my family. I've got my son visiting home from college. He's going to Hillsong College in Australia. He's studying pastoral ministries, and he's home for about a 6-week break. So I value my time with him, like every little bit I get. I'm just super grateful for. But you guys matter to me. This company matters to me. This opportunity matters to me, and anything that I can share with you that maybe will help you, I'm here for that. I was asked to speak a little bit about duplication. Is that correct? Duplication? Yeah. Okay. I will tell you real quick though. I got partnered with Plexus about 8 years ago. I had a friend that sent me a text message. Did anybody else receive a text message or a Facebook message about this opportunity? No? Okay. Well, I did. And I had a friend that specifically was, telling me about the product. She knew the health challenges I was having. And she said, I think this could help you. I was very skeptical. I was very careful about what I put in my body with my autoimmune illness. And I will be very honest with you, the branding looked very gimmicky to me and I dismissed it. I was just fighting for my life at that time. When I first got diagnosed, my boys were 10, 8, and 2. So for a 10-year gap from that period of time, I lost a lot with my family. I just did everything I could, but it was a battle for so long. But I'm also so grateful for that, because that time, that sting gave me the platform to be able to speak to people with profound passion and gratitude for truly what this is. And so while it was hard, I'm grateful for it, because I know that God allowed that for a time and a place for a bigger purpose. And I always think about that. I don't know if you guys realize the magnitude of what this is. Like, if you would have told me 8 years ago, or even longer than that this opportunity would fund my son to be able to go to ministry college in Australia, I just would have shaken my head in complete disbelief for you. And there's so many things about what God, I'm a God girl, so I will speak very boldly about my faith, because it is profound. And I do believe that God gives us things sometimes for what we don't even know today, but for the future. And so I want you to kind of think about that in the back of your mind, whether you have a faith belief system or not. This is one of those things that you have to think bigger with, because when you think bigger, you open up space. Like, if you're in okay, I've got to, I know we go and, we eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? But I really, really want you to think bigger picture, because I'm going to talk about some very duplicatable things that you're going to do day in and day out. And some days you're going to feel really good about what you're doing, and some days you're not. But when you keep doing it in belief of the bigger picture, you're going to move a lot more confidently. That's where our faith enters the scene. It's about doing things that we don't even necessarily know why, but we just keep doing them. And what I believe is that God consecrates our efforts. I believe that if you do the same efforts day in and day out, he will consecrate that. What that means is that if you do the right thing all the time, that's exactly what you're going to bring into your life. So I talked a little bit about at Super Saturday Express a couple weeks ago, back in November. I talked about the idea of there's us and then there's the world, and we have this chasm in between, this gap, this canyon, and between us and the world we build a bridge for what people need. So I want you to think about what it is that you're going to be building a bridge with systematically, okay? And I'm a word picture girl. I love the idea of word pictures because it helps me think about, like, in my daily efforts, like the picture of what we're doing. I also picture myself being on a freeway. Okay, I'm cruising along doing the speed limit, right? But as far as the systems of what you're doing and duplication, as you are on that freeway and people are onboarding with you, they're ramping on, you're going 65 miles an hour or whatever your speed limit is, they're going to be on ramping with you, and you have to be doing the things so that you can merge together on that freeway. And then you have people coming in from the right, and you might have people coming in from the left. And if you think about the merge that comes from you and either side of that merge, you're going to create a lot more momentum as you guys merge on this freeway together. But attraction wise, if you are stalled out on the freeway, there's nobody that's capable of merging with you. So your ability to do the same small things day in and day out creates the ability for people to merge on this freeway of this amazing opportunity with you. Jody shared that I've been to the #1 nutrition school in the world. I'm board certified. I vetted these products for 8 years, you guys. After I got over my skepticism, I realized, actually, it was so funny because my husband is the one that showed me these products. He said yes to my friend when I said no, and he had this amazing transformation in 6 weeks. And these things were happening for him, and I was like, from this package right here, this is what you're experiencing? And he's like, yeah, and I don't ever want to stop. So it was then that I was like, it was almost like this awakening moment where I went, this is something different. So then I vetted it. Then I looked at the ingredients and was like, oh yeah, everything that I've been studying. The first patient I had was myself. Like, I was doing a lot of the things that similarly that Plexus offers, omegas and probiotics and all those things to heal the root cause. I just never noticed a difference. But when I saw the difference that it made in my husband, I was like, there's something different about this, right? People are going to be looking at you and they're going to say, there's something different about you. What is it? Right? And people have a choice when it comes to their products that they purchase, right? They can go buy their stuff from GNC. They can pull it all together and do a lot of the same things, but people get us, right? So be thinking about that we are living in a way that is attracting other people by doing these systems, that you're going to come on board and somebody's going to say, hey, Carrie, this is awesome. I need to make like $2,000 a month. And because you're doing already the same things that you would tell them to do you realize how seamless that merge is on that freeway? My team calls me the holy grail of recruitment. It's not because I'm board certified. It's not because I'm an author or podcast host. I'm just resolved. I'm just consistent. I just do the same thing. And when I tell you my list of things that I do daily, you're going to be like, that's it? Yeah, it's efforts. It's efforts, and God consecrates those efforts. So if you have the ability to take notes, you want to take notes, great. If not, you can go back and watch or whatever. You have to know who you're helping. Who are you going to help? That is problem solving key number one. Who are we going to help? I mean, you have these things that can help people, but who are you going to connect those people to? Who's this bridge that you're going to bridge the gap for? What are you offering? What do you offer people? What do they get when they get you? Do they get somebody who follows up? Do they get somebody who loves on them even when they're struggling? Do they get somebody that's going to cower when you don't know the answer to a problem that they're struggling with? Or are they going to get somebody that's very solution oriented that says, I don't know the answer to that, but I know where to get it, right? Who are they getting? They're getting you. You are part of this equation that's very powerful. So be thinking about the things that you offer people: energy, focus, mood, hormone balance, stronger immune systems. You guys, this last 10 months has been crazy hard, but it's also been the best gift for our opportunity. Do you realize that? Do you realize that historically, the idea of the immune system will never be perceived the same again because of what we've been going through? Do you understand what a gift that is for us in this company? We're an immune system driven company. What a gift that is. So be thinking of that and steward it in the back of your mind. Every possible conversation you can have with people out in the world is you have the ability to offer them a stronger immune system, something that's going to give them peace and hope to where they can lay their head on the pillow at night knowing that they're doing the best that they can, right, with what they could possibly do. It's a gift. As hard as it's a gift for our company. How many of you have seen some growth in your business in the last 10 months, maybe more so over the last year? Yeah, me too. It's been incredible. It's been so great. And I love helping people. And it's just opened up so many more conversations with people because of what we offer, right? And so many people came out of the woodwork to me. Do you know why? Because I've been shouting it from the rooftops consistently for 8 years. They know who their immune system girl is. They know who to go to for that, right? They know. Do they know that for you? Like if I go to your Facebook, do I know what you're offering this world? If I go to your Facebook Messenger, can I see the impact that you're having? Right? That's, they say at church, right? Show me your checkbook and I'll show you where your love of money is coming from. This is the same thing. Show me your messenger, show me your text messages, show me your Facebook profile, and I'll show you the impact that you're going to have. That is a key component. How are you going to offer it? What are you going to be doing? Okay, we've got 3-day challenge boxes. We've got opportunities for weight loss challenge. You guys, we're about to hit the biggest month of our year, January. Do you realize that there are people today, okay, today, they are going to eat all the things for the next couple of weeks. They've already resolved in their mind that come January, they're going to do something. Do they know what you're offering? Are you an option for them for whatever they're considering? Because they're going to consider it. And if you're reaching out to them now and planting the seed and sending them a message on Facebook or a text or a phone call or whatever it is, if you're talking about whatever offering you're going to be doing come January, we've been doing intermittent fasting challenges for the better part of this past year. I've been doing it for years and I love it. And so it's been a very seamless transition for me to offer it to other people. But we do them regularly, like once or twice a month. We'll have a 1-week course or a 2-week course or a 3-week course. You guys, the idea of people not having to worry about what they're putting in their body and just when is so duplicatable. Like, we're a wellness company. We have a lot of products that are driven for weight loss. It's great to have a system of, most people that you're going to bring into your life are not going to be supplements. They're not going to be used to supplementing. So what I love about fasting is it puts them on a very regimented system of when to take products with when they're eating. And they move the needle on their weight more readily than just giving them supplements and saying, eat healthier. That's hard. They don't know what to do. And so they flounder. And then month 2, month 3, and then guess what? Then the subscription's off. Well, dang. But if we give them something very tangible that works, now think about this too. Like, when they have success with something simple and duplicatable, guess what they're more amenable to doing? Thinking about, who can I bring on board to do this next challenge, since I'm already an ambassador, right? And then thinking about all of the the incentives that our company offers, holy cow, they're the most generous people on the face of the planet. I am just so grateful for the thing. Like our pay plan enough is just mind-blowing, gangster, ridiculous money. If you guys believe that, can you move in it? Like seriously, your belief is what either it drives you or it doesn't drive you. Like if you're lacking belief, you're not moving, right? You're whatever your belief capacity is, that's what your movement is. So you have to believe it. But my friends, belief is a choice. It's your choice of what you choose to believe is possible. If I told you there's 100 people on the other side of my office door right now waiting for hope and health and happiness, would you believe me? Believe it. They're out there. Now live your life like that with that same belief, okay? So we're gonna offer it with whatever you're gonna do to offer it, but you've got to have something that you're offering people that they can say yes to, right? Because come January, they're going to be doing it. So this is the month to be planting the seeds, because January could be the best month of your entire year. Like if you think about all the decisions that are being made. Oh, and do you know how many people are looking for that clock to move on 12/31 of this year, looking for something crazy good to happen? Like offer them something crazy good to happen in the new year. Like do you know how many people psychologically are going to want to do something new in that new year, like to kiss this year goodbye? Like not everybody is operating at the hope capacity we are, right? You offer that to them. You're already living it. You already have the hope and the peace and the alignment in your life. Get out there and offer it to people and let them know what you have to bring on board. How many of you have been with this company more than a year? Raise a hands. Oh, pretty decent chunk. So have you ever thought about, oh my gosh, we're doing it differently now, and oh my gosh, we're doing it differently now, and oh my, we're doing it differently now? I want you to know that that's going to be a part of the equation forever, because our world is changing. Like, did you think a year ago that we would have had the year that we've just had? No. Have we all had to pivot in our conversations and the kind of love that we're offering people and the kind of hope that we're offering people? We've had to pivot. You always have to be prepared to pivot and move toward what and adapt to what our society is receiving. Come January, come March, come June, it's just going to be constantly evolving. So be prepared to adapt to whatever it is that people potentially need to be responding to differently that's happening in our world. So you need to know who, you need to know what you're offering, you need to know how you're offering it. You're bridging that gap. What is it that you're offering people? What is in the middle that people need that you can share with them the hope that you have? I have a system, and I'm just going to leave you with this system that I do every day. You ready for it? Okay. So every week I commit to sharing 2 testimonies on Facebook. I go for the prime times, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I'll alternate those days, both on Facebook and Instagram. I'm older, so Instagram is still a little bit more challenging for me, but I'm getting there. I've got young kids that are helping me. So share 2 testimonies a week on some sort of social media platform. Stories. How many of you guys are using your stories? Stories are a powerful place. I love the idea of sharing like a person and a product and saying, are you ready? And I ask people a question like, here's the product, here's the testimony, and then I'll do a little poll that says, are you ready? And guess what? I don't give them an option for no. I say yes and heck yes. Those are my 2 offerings that I do on my polls. So you just give them a little bit of, not some kind of long drawn out thing. I just like do little bits, and people are, I get a lot of engagement, and yes, I'm ready, and heck yes, and people laugh at that. And I love that I make them laugh too. Heck yes. Okay, so share a personal win with your health with a product selfie every week, once a week. Like I will take, I'll take a MetaBurn and I'll go, loving my focus, mood, and energy. with this little game changer, I don't share a product bottle. I always share a product that's already mixed up, ready to go. I talk about active and what it's giving me for my day, or just finished a workout and I love the oxygenating component, the nitric oxide. You know, I always talk about different things. So some sort of win, like think about what out there in the world do people need that you're experiencing, right? That's what you're bridging the gap with. Focus, mood, energy, stronger immune system, less inflammation. Sometimes at night I have a system. We go through our little nighttime routine. Doggies get supplements, husband gets supplements, I get supplements, and I'll just take a picture of my omegas and my probiotics, and I just talk about the amazing sleep and the stronger immune system I'm gonna have. It always gets great feedback, great. And here's the thing, people are always watching. And when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So do you realize that even though the time wasn't right for that person that day, you've just casted a vision for them for what's possible. So you have to tell them a wide variety of things of what's possible with their life. 3-day challenges. Do you guys do 3-day challenges? Do you have those regularly? Here's the thing, I always ask for the sale. I do 3-day challenges for my people who are super, super skeptical. And I'll say, you know, 3 days, 4 products, $20. You get $20 coupon, which makes it free. So I go in with that as my potential, it's better than nothing kind of thing. That's how I think about it. But otherwise, I always ask for the sale. I always ask for the enrollment. Perfect. One starting tomorrow. Excellent. We have one on Tuesday. It starts Tuesday. Okay, so 3-day challenges. Reach out to one person a day with the send, share, invite method. That's just what I do. It's how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? I know some systems will say 3 people, 5 people. That to me personally, it's overwhelming. So if I can just reach out to one person a day and just do this send, share, invite method, that works for me. I consistently recruit at least 6 people a month with this system, and this is your funnel, right? This is what you're funneling people into. So I'm always in the works of different conversations with different people. Holy cow, I've been in conversation with some people for 5, 6+ years. So love them to death. Love them to whenever they're ready. I'm always here for them. And I always recommend always adding to your network because, and I make mine at least 3 new friends a week. I look for some people maybe who seem really positive and encouraging in maybe different groups that I'm in. I look for people who are friends of my friends and I look at their profile, and if they're pretty decent, no F-bombs, no negativity, nothing super, you know, politically one way or the other. I just kind of look and I'm like, yeah, they're pretty balanced with their life. I'm really careful. I'm not desperate, you guys. You don't need to be desperate. There's no need to be desperate. Just be careful about who you're bringing in. You're going to be potentially in business with these people, right? They start with the products, but we also want them sharing the hope that we have. So be careful about those people that you're doing. And then you wash, you rinse, and you repeat. That's my system. That's what I do. And to me, a great question to ask yourself is, whatever I'm doing right now, can other people see themselves doing this? Would other people be amenable to doing this? That's the biggest key, because like that's what you want to happen. Like that's how you make impact. That's how you have momentum, is when you're doing a system of things, and then you can go, you bring them on board and you say, we've got these great referral programs happening this month, these great incentives. These are the things that I recommend you do. And you onboard them onto that freeway with that system that you're already automatically doing. Does that sound doable? Yeah, simple enough. You guys, don't make it way more than it has to be. If you make it way more than it has to be, then if you're thinking this is difficult or this is way more than I can, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're doing it wrong, right? It doesn't have to be crazy, all kinds of things. Just do simple. Do simple, attract simple, show people simple, and you're going to find a lot more duplication in that process. Any questions?
Yeah, does anyone have questions? So good, Carrie. I love to keep it simple, and I love that you talked about like being a bridge builder, essentially. Like we're building that bridge for people, and we're journeying with them. and duplicating like ourselves, really, like what we want people to do. And so show up and do it every day and every week. And I love that. So was there a question? Did I miss?
I wasn't sure if Kelly did.
Okay.
So you, on average, add 6 a month, which, you know, I had to pick my job off the floor, even over that. How are you constantly filling your funnel? Like, where are you finding new people all the time? I mean, I get like pouring into them and investing in the relationships, but where are you putting new people in there all the time? Just from different Facebook groups? I guess, how are you finding new people to put in there that you could even add 6 a month consistently?
So remember I talked early on that if you do the steps that your efforts are consecrated, that's the only explanation I have. Like if you do the honorable thing gets done to you. Does that make sense? Like if you're not doing the efforts consistently, there's nothing there to consistently on board to, like with what you're doing. And I think it has a lot to do with your effort giving you the ability to stand taller. Because, you know, if I'm telling you this bottle's blue, I'm believing it's blue, I'm living it's blue, and I'm living that. And that is, people will be attracted to that resolve. Does that make sense?
No, that totally does. But I mean, so that's pretty generic. Yes, do the steps, you know, every day. But like, what are those steps then, I guess, that you're doing that would put new people there? I get like definitely connecting with them, but like, where are you bringing people from that you're, I mean, is it like with their,
like on Facebook, it'll make suggestions for you for friends.
So
okay, so I'll go, like it'll say you have 23 mutual friends with so and so, and I'm like, okay, well, who are they? Who are the mutual friends? And sometimes I can identify, maybe it's a church connection or some other, I don't know, different connections with different people, and I can kind of tell by the world that people live in what their connections might be. Like I'm connected to a lot of other authors, I'm connected to podcasters, I'm connected to, I got connected to a lot of, when I was publishing my book, I had a business coach, and I got connected to other faith-based business people who were looking to put content out in the world. So there's just a lot of different connections, but basically I look at the recommendations that Facebook says you could potentially be, and I look at them and I'll request. They just keep coming in. Like I just consistently, like I said, add the 3 friends a week. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but I think it still rounds out. And every time I put content out there, like for things like join my fasting challenge, people come out of what I call the woodwork. Like if you're offering something consistently, and you're constantly adding to, people are like, it just happens. I know that sounds like super ambiguous, but it's not. Like if you do those steps, you add the friends, you foster the relationships. Like once I get friended with them, I will comment on their posts. Like if they post something, I'm like, they posted their tree. I'm like, that's super cute. Great job. You know, and not too much bigger than that. I mean, especially when you're in the new phase of that relationship, you don't want to seem stalkerish or like you had an agenda. The agenda is you have hope for people, and you're looking for people who are looking for hope. And so if they question, like, why are you friend requesting me? You just said, oh, it looks like we got some great mutual friends, and I'm always looking to add to my opportunity for more people. You seem super positive and encouraging. I think you're my people. So rarely do I get questioned on it, but I usually have an answer pretty quickly for them of why I made that decision. And it's generally authentic. I generally have an authentic response because of how I made my decision. Oh, we've got some great mutual friends, and you seem like you're a pretty great person. I'm always looking to link arms with other great-minded people.
So then I have a follow-up question to that. Like, are you personally inviting them and like talking about Plexus, or are you relying on your content to draw them in, and you're just using the background to like build relationships?
Content draws them in, I think, when they're ready. And then, you know, just kind of building that relationship on, you know, commenting on posts and things like that. I'm not a cold messenger or anything like that. I've just done it. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't work, but I've tried. So I can say I tried, but it didn't feel good to me. It didn't feel authentic. And people do it to me. So I was like, oh, I used to do that, but now I'm better.
No, that's really helpful.
Yeah, good. And if you think of something later, feel free to message me. I can try to better clarify, but I really do mean it when I say, if you're doing the work and you're putting the content out there, the attraction part of it will happen. That's the only explanation I have for it. Do you typically wait to reach out to somebody? Yeah, I typically don't ever reach out to them. I will build the relationship on Facebook statuses and comment on their posts, but I don't usually reach out to them. Stories are great because if you're asking questions and you're putting information there, it's an opportunity for people to, here's the thing, pride. Any people struggle with pride? Yeah, it's humanity, right? So really what happens is people are not necessarily inclined to comment on a post for join my next intermittent fasting challenge, or I'm looking for 2 friends to try my pink drink for 60 days and tell me how great you feel. That works, by the way, it does work. But like the stories are a great place because they can talk to you and nobody else knows about it, right? So but you have to propose the questions that people can respond to, like with the polls and the things like that, right? Stories, yeah, stories and call to action. Yeah, either ready or they're not. If you just keep putting the content out there, people will be ready when they're ready, right? It's powerful. It works. And I hate to seem like, I don't want to sound dismissive about it, like it's no big deal. It is a big deal. Like what we do is a big, hairy deal. And believe that, like not in a overwhelmed sort of way, but in a very confident way. And if like, I'm just saying, the things I gave you to do are the things I do. And it's fruitful. Fruit comes from it. Trust the process and believe that. Because if you're skeptical about it, guess what you're going to get? Skeptical results. Like your belief, your resolve, and your commitment are the key, right? It's the key to unlock everything. Belief is the biggest key that you can move in from here to eternity for about what it is. And then as your business grows, you're going to think bigger. You're going to believe bigger in the things. Like Ephesians 3:20 is my verse. I just believe that. Like I do the things and God does them through me. It's just, it works. He's amazing. I'm grateful.
Yeah. 110%. Agreed. So thank you so much for taking time out, especially when you have a son home visiting. And I hope you guys have the best Christmas together. Thank you so much, Carrie. We really appreciate it.
I'm humbled. I'm honored. I'm grateful. Thank you so much, you guys. It's been a pleasure. And my door's always open.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Right. You too. Bye, guys.
Okay, so good. I just love hearing from others, you guys, and we're actually going to touch on a lot of the things, kind of expand on what she talked about tonight too, in how we care for our customers and ambassadors, and even troubleshooting in that. And so much of what she talked about, and even the duplication, is how we connect with people, what we put out there, who we are, and it matters. And people want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. We've talked about that a ton. And when we are consistent, when we do those things consistently, people will trust us. And eventually, when their time is right, they will join us. And when they do, that is not the end of our transaction with them, right? Like, it's not a transaction. It is a relationship. It is a journeying together. We are a bridge builder with them. And so that's just really another like jumping off point into a deeper relationship with our customers and ambassadors. And so how we care for them really matters, because what we do matters. And so we want to be stewarding, the way I look at it, stewarding those relationships with our customers and ambassadors really well. And so we're going to talk through a few of those things tonight. And so often, you guys, people will join for the products, and then they catch the vision, right, for the business, but it is the community and the relationships that keep them involved. It is what keeps people in it when it's hard and for the long haul. And so we have to be continually cultivating those relationships or people won't stick around. And life happens and people will come and go, but so much of it is how we cultivate the relationships and care for people. And good customer service is what leads to residual income, you guys. And it is a big deal. And I know that we all want that. And people who have a good experience talk about it. And also, people who have a bad experience also talk about it. So I don't know if you guys watch my stories, but a couple weeks ago, we had one of the most wretched customer service experiences that I've ever had with a car dealership. And I will not go into it, but I talked about it in a lot of places because it was so bad and they were so not trustworthy. I don't want anyone to do business with them. And then if you think about it, you're like, okay, well, I've had some experiences that were just, like I've done business with friends, I've ordered something and I've never heard back from them. And I love those people, but it just left not a good taste in my mouth because it just felt like a transaction. I felt like a sale. And we do not want people feeling like that on our teams or anyone that we work with. It is not just a sale. It is absolutely a relationship and we want to steward it well. And so, just think about those really good experiences leave us with a great impression. And that is what we want to do for people, is to really make an impact and an impression on their lives and help them to have that hope that Carrie kept talking about, that we all talk about. We want them to really see good change in their life. And we get to be some of the people who help them do that. So I'm going to share some slides in 1 second. As we talk through these different avenues, so we're going to look at it through 3 ways. Okay, let's see if I can figure out how to share my screen. Okay, so hopefully we can see all of these once this starts. I've watched some trainings and I loved the ones that kind of broke it up into the connect, communicate, and care. And everything kind of flows through these 3 things and they overlap in certain areas, but we've already talked about connecting. We connect with people way before they actually hit join or purchase. And that starts long before that happens. But then once they do that, how do we want to care for them? How do we want to connect with them? Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to move this. I can't see my cursor. Okay, hold on. Can't figure out how to move us out of the way a little more. Let's try it again. Maybe. Okay, so our connection obviously starts with them before they sign up with us. And another really good connection point, you guys, we've talked about this before, is sign up with people on the phone whenever possible. And I know some people really hate the phone and they just will not do it, but always ask because we can answer questions and get them going on the right foot. They can hear our voice, our passion. Again, that's one thing that we want to duplicate. And so whenever possible, do that. Ask them how they prefer to communicate. Because I know how I want to communicate, but that might not be how they want to communicate. And so if you're getting ghosted, maybe you didn't ask like how they want to chat with you. It could be text, it could be email. Some people really do want to talk on the phone, especially if they're older. Is it through Messenger? So ask them that. It's going to matter and will make them feel cared for as well in the process. Okay, once someone signs up or makes a purchase, always send them a thank you. I am huge on handwritten thank yous. And one of the things that I've loved in the last year is one of the booklets that Michelle actually created. And I have started sending this to all my new people, and it has just awesome things. It welcomes them to the journey. It has this Candida chart right here. So what I've started doing is have them circle all of these when they get this in the mail, take a picture and send it to me. So the gal this week, when she got hers, she circled them and said, wow, I think I'm a bigger mess than I realized. So again, it just led to even more conversation about how we can help her and the results that she can see. And it gives her something that she can look at. It talks about goals and realistic expectations and water and detox. So I love getting this in the hands of people with a handwritten note. And I always throw in a couple of samples that they didn't order. If they have kids, I toss in some X Factor vitamins. If I know they struggle with pain, I might put in some ease samples. Active, I just always have some samples on hand just as a way to thank them and make them feel cared for from the very beginning. You can also send them, a protocol for the products that they ordered. Some people love to have that, but I also tell them, I'm going to walk through this with you step by step. And I'm really big on that because I had so many health issues that I really believe in doing one product at a time and like connecting with them along the way. And everyone does it different, but that is what works for me. Another thing that's so huge is connecting them to the team pages, to our culture, really is what we want to connect people to, and that encouragement that they find there, because you guys, there are not environments like Plexus out there in very many places. Okay, so when someone gets welcomed and they're like, oh my gosh, 10 strangers just said that we're so glad you're here, it really could make a difference for that person. And connecting them, I think this is on the next slide, but to the people in our lives. And also I copy the link, like the address to the Facebook groups. I don't just add them because I lose things in notifications all the time. I miss them. And so if they don't hit accept invite, they're not going to be in that group. So I say, I added you to this group and here's why, here's the link. It's to make it easy for you to just go straight into the group. Use three-way chats. This also is duplication. You guys, we want to be connecting them to someone else for third-party validation, someone else that you know that they are going to really relate to, your leader, another sideline friend. Get them on a new ambassador call if you have those on your teams, and events like the 3-day group that we have starting tomorrow. Utilize these groups, you guys. It is so important. I even put my new ambassadors in there. I don't just do people that are 3-day box people because it gets them even more education, the community, and they're still new. It's so valuable for them. So all of these things are just connecting them. And it is only going to help in the long run. Okay, so communication. You guys, and Allie talked about this last week in her systems of how she tracks with people. Tracking is so important. And occasionally it happens to me where someone falls through the cracks. But if I have a good system, if I'm paying attention, if I'm writing things down, then I know when it is I'm supposed to be following up with them. So for me, before their products even come in, I'm giving them, what to do and how much water to be drinking. And then I tell them, talk to me when your products come in. Let me know when they get there. I will tell you the next steps from them. And I just write them in my planner, just like Allie was talking about last time, so that it's in there and I don't forget, because life is crazy and we can forget. So much depends on us that first 60 days, especially. Tell them about the perks or rewards program. You guys, this is a big deal, and ask the question, like, would you want to learn to get your products paid for? If we don't communicate that that's available to them, and oftentimes we do that because we're afraid of them saying no, or we don't want to feel pushy, but just ask. We don't know. And a lot of times people are like, yeah, why wouldn't I want to get my products paid for? So definitely be asking those things. This one is big because oftentimes people won't get through all their products, or they're going through it at a different pace. Reach out before their subscription goes out, just as a really great customer service thing, especially that first month, and figure out what they have, where they're at, and what they might need to add or change with their order. And then again, share about the referral program, just always dropping those things in there. Say, hey, you have these perks in there. This is how you keep them. Do you have friends who want to join you? Just continue to communicate about the awesome things that Plexus offers our ambassadors. And our customers, after a couple months of them loving these things, say, hey, who do you know that would love these too? We just communicate those things all along the way like they are normal. And then when they catch the vision, they will do the exact same thing that you did with them. But don't tell them everything all at once. That was another thing that I loved about what Carrie said, is keep it simple, because we don't want to overwhelm them. And really, it is pretty simple. And then communicate with them about their virtual office so they're not frustrated, they know where to find things. And then again, have them circle all those things on that Candida chart so you can refer back to them, because that again will show them that you care, and it's going to help you when you may have some troubleshooting, which we will chat about. So ask specific questions, you guys. This is so important. And this one may sound so stupid. Did you start? But when I first started, I was like, did you get your products? And that I would end with that, assuming that they were going to start. And then a week later, they're like, oh yeah, they're still sitting on my counter. So we really need to say, did you get them, and did you start? What did you love or notice? We want them to be giving you more information than a yes or a no. Did you get half your body weight in ounces of water in today? How many BMs are you having? And I always joke with people, you know, like, there's no TMI. I've been doing this a long time. We celebrate poop in our house, you know, like, make it lighthearted, because they really need to be telling you these things, and you have to be asking, which I'm sure you all know. This question is going to be really important as the process goes on, especially if you're going to be doing troubleshooting, is would you be willing to, and then whatever it is that we're going to ask them to do, because they have to be willing, right? Like, if they're not, it's not going to be very successful. And again, always referring back to that Candida chart is really going to be helpful for us. Okay, so troubleshooting. We all have people that we troubleshoot with all of the time. These are some things that I've watched in videos with Ame Darling, and even Carrie has some, and I didn't realize this until this last week, you know, more troubleshooting, because she's a health coach. So there are people that you can go out there and look and see what they recommend, but these are the things that, you know, come up and how we can troubleshoot with. But one example I used is, how long have you suffered with, you know, like IBS? So if they're like, it's not working, having terrible stomach pain. Well, if you know that they've had IBS, let's go back to that and say, okay, well, how long did you suffer with that? How has that affected your life? Like, we want them to remember what it's been like, what it's looked like for them, and knowing that it's probably going to get worse before it gets better, but it will get better. And even asking them, what do you think is a realistic expectation, and seeing results, right? So we need them to have realistic expectations. And so even backtracking and talking through their goals that they had, what they already know to be true, and here's the, are you willing? Are you willing to troubleshoot this so you can find success? It's like, I tell people all the time, I want to help you, but you have to be willing. Are you willing to work at this with me? Like, I'm here for you, but you got to show up for you. And I can be pretty blunt in asking that to people, because I'm like, look, this is you and your life and your goals. And are you willing to show up for it? Are you going to put in the work? Even though it might be really unpleasant for a little bit, like, it's so worth it. But are they committed? And asking that to them, and let them respond to you. Okay, how are you taking the products? When? How many? Really asking them, like, what does that look like? How many capsules? What time of day? Those are going to be really important things to know. And even some people, like with BioCleanse, they need all 4 all at the same time. Some people, they need them spread out. So figuring out when they're taking them, and maybe how to move it around for them. Okay, so usually the main culprits, you guys, in troubleshooting, it's usually user error, or water, diet, exercise, stress, which is huge, especially right now, consistency, and not having bowel movements, right? So we all know this, but again, asking them if they're drinking their water, if they're not, making suggestions like, this is the water bottle I use, I fill it up this many times a day, here's a great water app. What are you eating? Journal it. when people start writing down what they're eating, it's pretty eye-opening. It's like, oh, I ate a vegetable 3 days ago. Well, that is going to hinder you. So make them write it down. Look at their sugar intake. Are they skipping meals? Oftentimes people think, well, I'm doing myself a service if I'm skipping a meal. It's not. It's going to slow down their weight loss. Fake sugars, eating too late. All of those things are going to have negative results for our people. And so asking about those things. With stress, are you stressed? Which most of us right now are. Is it affecting your sleep? Are you waking up at night? Because the cortisol rising is also going to keep people from losing weight. And that is a big focus for a lot of people. And so connecting the two for them is going to be a big deal. Of course, consistency. So asking them when they're taking it, troubleshooting with them, like, have you tried putting it by your toothbrush? I hope you're brushing your teeth every morning and every night. You know, like that's a natural way to not forget to do that. Again, so I know Kelly was talking about this question this week, but Ame in a video, she said that you can hold up to 30 pounds of crap and toxins. And that is a large number, you guys. So I don't care if it's 8 pounds or 30, either way, it is not a good number to hear. And so we need people to be pooping. And if they are doing that, not 2 times a day, at least, then we need to get them there. And then again, like sometimes, especially for us who've been using the products for a long time, maybe it would help to switch it up, like take something at a different time of day and see if it helps our bodies. So even, you know, troubleshooting with people who've been on the products for a long time. Give word pictures. I love that it helps our brains look at it in a different way. So again, like cleaning the house, we just cleaned out our attic, and you guys, it made a larger mess than I ever anticipated and was way worse before it got better, right? So people can relate to that it creates a bigger mess oftentimes when we start the project, but it's so worth it. Brushing your teeth. Again, we have to do this every day or it's not going to work the right way. It's going to be gross. And going to the gym. I always tell people, especially people who they're like, I just want to know how to take it and when to take it. Why do you not have, I've had this asked, why don't you have just a routine for everyone? I was like, well, because everyone starts at a different starting point, right? Just like going to the gym, everyone's physical ability is different. We're not just going to go in and say, okay, start lifting, 50 pounds, do this many squats. Like it doesn't work that way. Everyone's body is different and we have to start where you're at. So helping people see that is really helpful for them. Milk thistle and Epsom salt can help detox. And X Factor, you guys, is really helpful in our body so that we're absorbing vitamins and minerals. The aloe is really great for us as we're always, but especially as we're starting, and can even help weight loss. General rule of thumb, ProBio 5 is like a red light and BioCleanse is like a green light in getting things moving area, generally speaking. Another generalization is that the XOS can be harder for people with autoimmune issues than HC. That's true for me. I also will tell people, try a bag of each and see what you think, because again, our bodies are really different. And I believe in letting them try to see which one they liked better, but that's just my personal preference. And then again, adding ease is so helpful. You guys, so many people are struggling with inflammation, even if they don't know it, even if it's not like a major pain thing, and they can really help weight loss as well by adding ease in. And so I always make that suggestion for pretty much everybody. Okay, the last one, care. We want people to be cared for, okay? Hands down, we want people to know that we care about them. They are not just points to us. They are not just a paycheck. It is always people over points and paycheck. And if we're really caring for people, that's going to increase our paycheck. That's just a natural thing that comes from that. Remember to use compassion and empathy. I am naturally a very empathetic person. And yet, when I feel like someone wants to give up too fast, I get really irritated. And so I have to really put myself in their shoes and empathize with where they're at and what they're experiencing, and meet them where they're at so that I can help them to where they want to get to. Focus on their needs. Make common ground, like find where you have common ground. Ask about their families. Really care about more than just Plexus. I think it matters. It matters to me. Don't just tag people. Again, I think it's super helpful to actually put a story in the messenger. I thought of you, I added you to this group. I know that you'll love it. Continue to create relationship and partnership with them. And again, just always going back to their goals, and the Candida chart can be super helpful. And they can think, oh, they really do care. Like they remember what we talked about. And I don't just remember, I have to have it circled in a booklet or written down. And so it's important for me to do those things. Again, send cards or a note throughout the year. One of the things that I did this year, I don't know if you guys use Canva. I know some of you do, but I created a postcard with me on it. And it just said, I'm thankful for you, and a quick note. And there's a little thing on the back, and I wrote a handwritten note, and I sent these before Thanksgiving to a ton of my customers and wholesale ambassadors. And I hadn't done those before. So just simply making a connection point and telling them thank you. Being really grateful for them, thanking them for their business. I loved Andrea Mitchell's suggestion the other day in the Power Hour that she did to send them a recipe for lean or a wellness tip. Randomly sending those customers and ambassadors a sample of something that they may not have tried. Occasionally throughout the year, I will do a customer appreciation discount, or send a $5 Starbucks card just because. Giving praises on our team pages and in chats. Again, like just encouraging them along the way. There's so many ways to do that, you guys. And I just don't think people get enough of that in their day and in their life. And so the more we can do that for people, the more we are going to like stand out in their mind as someone that they're going to want to continue to do business with, that they are going to trust, that they are going to genuinely like and refer us to. So I think those were all of the things that I had on my slides that I wanted to share with you guys. But if you have anything that you guys do for your customers and ambassadors that you have found have really spoken to them, or something unique that you've done, I'd love to hear about it. So if anyone has other ideas, we'd love to toss those out there for everyone else to benefit from.
I would just piggyback off of this sending a sample to new ambassadors. I just started doing that in the last 6-ish months. Like even my newest gal, I sent her a couple sticks of Active because she only got the triplex. And I know she works long days, and I'm like, girl, you're gonna want this. She was so excited to get that. And now I know she's gonna fall in love with it like all the rest of us. And she might want to add it to her order, especially if she's gonna have too much BioCleanse because she's got IBS, so she's not gonna need a lot of that. She might need something extra to put towards her order to get to 100 PV, in the next month or so. So I really love that idea. Even like Joyome samples, because those are really easy to fit in an envelope. I just sent a bunch to wholesale ambassadors in hopes that they'll fall in love with that too, as new products and stuff are coming out, and maybe they'll want to try the skincare or whatever. But I love kind of like the long-term care and picture and opportunity that offers when we send them extra samples of things they've never tried.
Yes, absolutely. And who doesn't love freebies? Like I love it. And I love getting anything in the mail. So I'm like, yes, this is awesome. So great. And I always wrap it up I go to the dollar store and get the clear bags, and I put some, fun little stuff in the bottom. I tie it up with a ribbon. It does not take that much extra effort, and it just speaks care, and it's fun. Like it's fun to get that stuff in the mail.
Paper straws are fun to throw in there too.
Oh, yeah.
Get like a big thing of them. I need to more of that actually.
Jody, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How do you tell your people about perks and perk points? Because that's something I've been thinking about because I don't have like a clear-cut system. And I've thought about adding that in my welcome email I send them with like protocols and stuff, but I don't really want to make that email any more lengthy than it needs to be.
Yes.
How do you, oh, sorry, my dog's gonna start barking.
Yeah. Okay, I was trying to remember if it was in this little booklet or not. I usually do it in like, well, if we're on the phone, that's like my number one way. I want to show them this is where your PV is going to show up when your order goes through. And when you share with your friends, this is where those points are going to show up. So I show them their point, like where their points will be. And then I scroll down and tell them, this is your perks rewards points every time this order goes through. So I try to do it on the phone. Honestly, it's like the best way. And sometimes I will even like screen record on using my phone, and then I'll send them a little quick video in Messenger if I haven't done that, because it's not just a voicemail, it's like a little video of me scrolling on my computer, but it catches their eye. And just tell them, you know, how important it is to be consistent, and that then they get rewarded with those points. And so, and then I'll check in later and say, hey, have you looked to see how many perks points you have yet? You know, you could get a free product. So when I know that they're probably getting close to getting a free product, but I like to do it on that very first phone call when they sign up or order.
Okay. Yeah, I really like that. And I've thought about making a video too, even, you know, just like putting it on YouTube or something so that I can send them the link, just so that I don't have to, that just might be easier having that visual and explaining the back office to them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. That's helpful.
Yeah. We do a new ambassador team call once a month, and I always explain it in there. But again, you know, people have to show up at those to see it. So I try to explain it really early on. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay. Any last questions? If not, we'll be done. You guys, thanks so much for showing up tonight. It is a big deal that you're here and that you're showing up for yourselves and your business, and especially when it's, you know, well, where we're at in 2020, but the end near the middle of December. So I'm just want to clap and cheer for that, because it matters, and it will matter heading into a new year. So thanks for being here, and I hope you all have a great week. I will put the call to action in the page very shortly. So have a great night. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.